And honestly, if I gave you a million guesses, you might never find the move that my opponent played. I am sacrificing the exchange. There's no way it doesn't work. This is amazing. The queen is just completely trapped here. It's done. Alright, hello everybody and welcome to today's YouTube video. Today we're going over the second game of my tournament that I played 2 days ago on Monday. So yeah, this game I had black, it was second round, and I was against an unrated opponent, which I have the name of up there. And playing unrated opponents is the worst because you don't actually know how strong they were, but I did see that they lost to the previous opponent, who was 1700, so I just assumed they were below 1700 level, and that, you know, I would probably win. So I went into this game pretty confident. My opponent played d4. Everyone these days plays d4 as white. I haven't had much opportunity to play the Sicilian Dragon, Accelerated Dragon. But against d4 I just played d5, and this went into a Queen's Gambit declined. And this is just a very standard line, so I'm not going to explain it very much. Yeah, so essentially after castles, everything is just normal, a very equal position, nothing very special here. But my opponent makes a big mistake and plays bishop out to d3. And the reason this is such a big mistake is because I have d takes c4, and essentially this takes away white's entire advantage because I'm winning a tempo. The reason I'm winning a tempo is, for example, my opponent did nothing here, I take, and now my opponent has the same position except they also have h3, so they essentially lose a tempo because they could have done anything else. So yeah, I win in tempo, and that's basically the entire reason that historically white has been said to have an advantage in the start of the game. But yeah, so after bishop takes, I play c5. It's supported by my bishop. I'm castled, my opponent's not. Breaking open the center is just very principled here, and it's still theory somehow. I don't know any theory here, I'm just playing normal moves that look good. So good job for me for finding theory. And my opponent plays queen c2. I have no idea what that move does. Honestly, I looked at it and I'm like, I don't know what it does. Your bishop isn't here anymore, so you're not even putting pressure on the h7 pawn anymore. So I just continue this very normally and put my knight out on c6. The reason I didn't take is because I wanted to develop first, and him pushing is not scary at all since it is supported 3 times here, and he only has it supported twice, so it never works, and I'm never worried here. And if d takes c5, then bishop takes c5, and I got rid of one of his central pawns, and my bishop is on a more active square here. So he decided to castle, and I just win a very clean pawn here by playing c takes d4, e takes d4. Peter finds the pin on the queen here, but that's okay. He didn't find it, which I was surprised at. I mean, I think a normal move there is definitely rook d1 pinning to the queen, but he takes back and I take with the knight. And the reason why rook d1 doesn't work now is because I have knight takes c3, and knight takes f3, and it is a check. So you have to take this way, and then I move my queen out of the way. Computer likes bishop d7, but I'd probably play queen to c7 here, hitting the bishop, and just like putting my eyes towards the king side here. So yeah, after knight to d4, instead of playing rook to d1, my opponent does play queen to d3, and this is an alright move. It just kind of just keeps the balance of what was before, except now I'm just up a pawn. So yeah, I just consolidate here by giving knight takes f3 check, and the entire point of queen d3 is to take back with the queen and not double pawns in front of the king. So after that I play queen to c7 here, and my opponent just went absolutely crazy here, and honestly, if I gave you a million guesses, you might never find the move that my opponent played. And tactically it doesn't work, but looking at it just like looking at the position and not really calculating that deep, it kind of makes sense. You might think it works, but it does not. And the move he played is bishop a6. Now, you may see it's a blunder, but can you explain to me why? That's the harder option. Now, immediately I'm just like, there's no way that's a good move. I'm just like, okay, what's his idea? That's the first thing you always have to ask yourself with blunders. His entire idea is he wants b takes a6 and queen takes a8. And if that's not his idea, then this is just a full blunder of a bishop and you have nothing. So let's calculate a little bit. I'm just going to visualize here, by the way, just visualizing, not going to move forward at all. Just calculate this, because this is what happened in the game. B takes a6, queen takes a8. Now, the very logical move here, bishop to b7, hitting the queen with the bishop and also with the rook now. Now, you may see here that the queen can take the pawn on a7, but I calculated bishop to c5, and I actually calculated a worse position here. Like, I missed something in my calculations, but this position is still good even in the worst position, and I'll show you why it's worse after I move forward. But in this position, I'm just like, okay, I have very open bishops, the queen is basically trapped, and I can go queen to c6 after the queen moves back. For example, where can he even go? Like, he can go to a4 for the moment. That's what I calculated at least, but I missed something. So obviously I evaluated the position, and I'm just like, okay, I'm sacrificing the exchange. I am sacrificing the exchange. There's no way it doesn't work. This is amazing. And I get a brilliancy. Thank you, Stockfish. I deserve it. So, again, his entire idea goes through. He didn't even second guess himself. He should have just probably not even taken my rook and just been like, oh, I kind of just blundered a piece. Oops. But it's still the top move, but it's still pretty terrible. And now you'll see why I actually calculated a worse position for myself. Because after queen takes a7, bishop c5, the queen can't move. I forgot about the pawn on a6. The queen is just completely trapped here. It's done. The queen's trapped. You have nothing. So I calculated the queen getting away, and I still thought my position was much better. Just downer full exchange. But yeah, that's winning. I'm assuming that's why I kind of spoiled it already, but I'm assuming that's why my opponent thought he had some weird move here, which doesn't remotely work at all ever. I'm assuming that he calculated a takes, b5, and then now queen takes. But even here, your queen's trapped. Like, the pawn is now covering the a4 square instead of you not even being able to go to that square. All these squares are covered. Your queen is still trapped. So I don't even know the idea of knight b5 because it doesn't work in any world whatsoever. But I found what I think is a very, very accurate move here, and kind of depressing when you see it played against you. Queen c6. And you're like, why didn't you take the knight? Well, you see, I had more devious intentions in mind, and I'm like, let's see. Bishop, queen, king. This is very nice, because now I'm forking the king, checkmate in one if he does nothing. And I'm also forking the knight, and guess what? Your queen's also hanging. So I thought he was gonna like take my rook and then move the knight. That's what I thought. Or not move the knight, because you can't even do that because mate's hanging. So yeah, this is just terrible. Yeah, it wants f3 by the way, and I would probably win this check first, and then take the knight. Yeah. Anyways, going back here. Yeah, obviously this game is just over at this point because I'm threatening mate, I'm threatening a knight, and I'm threatening a queen. It's just over. So my opponent just completely missed everything, which I kind of felt bad for because my opponent played knight takes a7, just completely missing every idea. I don't even know what it does. It attacks my queen, sure, but like, even if I take the queen here, I'm still up. I'm still completely winning here. But I mean, obviously I didn't do that because my entire idea was to threaten mate, and he didn't see it, so I played checkmate and won. But yeah, I mean, that was a crazy game. I got a brilliancy. It honestly wasn't that hard to calculate the sacrifice, because the bishop pair was just so much stronger than that useless rook on a8. Like, look at this rook. Where is it? Let me go back. Right here. Look at this rook. It's doing nothing. It is not doing a single thing. And after queen takes a8, imagine the queen doesn't even get trapped. Like, imagine in a perfect world, the queen doesn't get trapped. I'm just gonna let it do that. I don't know. Let's let it get away to somewhere. Look at my bishops. I'm still winning in this position. I'm still winning. I'm down a full exchange and a pawn, and I'm still winning. That's how powerful these bishops are. That's why it wasn't hard to calculate for me why I should sacrifice the exchange, because my bishops just become so powerful with the opening of the board. They're just staring at the king, and the computer's just like, okay, we attack, game over. But yeah, that does it for today's game. Let's go over to the accuracy. My opponent had an accuracy of 69.5, very nice. And I had an accuracy of 97.6, very nice. Very high accuracy. I had no inaccuracies, no mistakes. I don't actually know why it's below 99, because I have perfect play and a brilliancy, so whatever. But estimated rating, my opponent had an estimated rating of 1450, and I had an estimated rating of 2500, which is Grandmaster level, so good job to me. And again, this is the first time experiencing. I'm going full screen again. I rarely ever do this. Full screen. It gave me a brilliancy for the middle game. A brilliancy. Of course, my opponent had a blunder, but I had a brilliance in the middle game. I haven't seen that yet before, so that is very nice to see. But yeah, that does it for today's video. Don't forget to comment down below, like, and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.